everyone, it's me Nicole and you're watching Bite Me. And today I'm dressed in all green to look like a vegetable because we are going to do broccoli 3 ways. This is one of my favorite vegetables and I think it's such a misunderstood vegetable, so today I'm going to show you how to cook it properly. So to start with, the first way is just a lovely baked Parmesan broccoli, and what I have over here is one whole head of broccoli, and this weighed about 380 to 400 grams. And all I've done is cut them into medium-sized pieces and dressed it with some olive oil, and I've used about 3 tablespoons of olive oil for this much broccoli. You can use between 2.5 to 3 tablespoons. Okay, so you just coat your broccoli with the olive oil to begin. Then you're going to add just 2 cloves of garlic. Then you just toss, and next we're going to add some sea salt and pepper. So you just go ahead and put that in, just stir everything around. Okay, so once everything's nicely mixed, get a baking tray, line it with some foil, just rub a little bit of olive oil on it so your broccoli doesn't stick, and then you just lay everything out in a nice flat layer. And what you're going to do with this is just pop it into an oven with the grill on, and you want your oven to be at 180 and you want your grill to be on at least halfway so that it gets nice and crispy on top. And this is going to cook for about 20 to 25 minutes, and about 18 minutes in you're going to pull out your tray and you're going to sprinkle Parmesan on top of it. And why we do that is so that the Parmesan doesn't burn with the entire cooking time. Now you're just going to pop it into the oven and leave it alone for 20 minutes. Our second broccoli recipe involves broccoli being cut into tiny little florets that look like little trees to me. And what we're going to do with these is just boil them first and blanch them as soon as they are cooked. So in order to do that, I have a pot of boiling water and I haven't salted it because I am going to finish these in a pan later on. So you just put all of your broccoli in gently. Be sure not to burn yourself. This is the most common way I make broccoli in the house because it's the quickest. So once your broccoli turns this lovely bright green, you know it's done. So you're going to get a bowl filled with ice water. That's very important for blanching. That's how you're going to keep the color of your broccoli, and it's not going to turn into that horrible gray color. Pop it into the ice water, and then after this you're going to strain your broccoli. Let all of the water that it's soaked in come back out. To finish off the broccoli, which is for the second recipe, which is just this broccoli in a lovely light lemon butter sauce, what I'm going to start with is half a tablespoon of olive oil. Then I'm just going to add 12 grams of butter. And on a high flame, you gently want to keep stirring it until your butter browns. Also, while this is happening, you're going to add about 2 cloves of garlic. 2 to 3 cloves is all you need for this. Very gently stir it around. And the whole point of adding the oil is to make sure that the butter doesn't burn off quickly. Lower your temperature on the flame. Now, this is not like a traditional brown butter where you actually wait for the butter to completely brown. This is just for it to get a slightly nutty flavor. So you're just looking for a light browning on your butter, and you don't want your garlic to burn either. So once your butter is all foamy like this and it's got these lovely bubbles going on, what you're going to do is add your broccoli in. And like I always say, as every new ingredient means that you put your flame back up on high. Now at this point, very quickly, what you're going to do is grab some of your lime and you're just going to squeeze about half. Woo, that went everywhere. Like how the broccoli and I matched today. So once that's done, turn off your flame because you don't want to overcook your broccoli at any point. Now you're going to add your salt and pepper. And this is just to taste, yes? So this is up to you how spicy you want it, and definitely how much salt you want as well. And that's pretty much it. That's done. Just going to set this to the side while I wait for my other broccoli dishes to get done as well. So it's been 18 minutes and this is what your roasted Parmesan broccoli should look like at this point. You just kind of give it a tiny toss. Now here I have just 15 grams of Parmesan which I just grated. I'm just going to put that all over. If you think your broccoli looks a little too dry at this point, feel free to add a little bit more oil. And then you pop that in for another 2 minutes. So now the 2 minutes are up for the baked Parmesan broccoli. And I'm just going to take it out and check it. So the best part about doing it this way is that your broccoli retains this lovely crunch and it gets all crispy on the sides. Now if you're feeling fancy and you want to like finish with a final flourish, you can add some smoked paprika, just sprinkle on the top, and you can also put on some slivered toasted almonds just for an added crunch and nuttiness. and let all the flavors melt for about 2 minutes before you serve it, and that way it's not too hot when people are eating it as well. And now we're going to go and jump to our third recipe as well. For the third recipe, which is kind of like an Asian twist to a broccoli, because when I do like Buddha bowls with chicken and rice, all I do with my broccoli is add a lovely Asian dressing to it. And my broccoli has already been blanched like I showed you all for the second recipe. And to my wok, I've added half a teaspoon of olive oil, and now I'm just going to add a little butter. Like, that's it. And that's only for silkiness and to be slightly more fancy. Next, I'm going to add about 2 cloves of garlic. This is going to be on a high flame, and once a little bit of it starts going brown, what you're going to do is take it off the heat a little bit, and you're going to add your broccoli to it. And this is around 200 grams of broccoli as well. You can lower your flame a little bit. Next, I have the Asian dressing, and all I have here is 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and half a tablespoon of oyster sauce. Just going to add that in. And you want to whisk your dressing together before you actually add it so that everything kind of incorporates. And now on a high flame, you keep mixing for this part. Once this is done, what you're going to do is add a very tiny splash of some vinegar. Any vinegar you have is fine, but if you have rice vinegar, that's preferred. Make sure not to overcook your broccoli, like I say for every recipe, because the whole point is to have your broccoli nice and crunchy. Once that's done, put it off the flame. So you just sprinkle a pinch of sea salt on. And now I also have some white pepper. And what I'm going to do is just add a tiny pinch of it, just for a little bit of heat. Make sure to taste for salt. Next, we're going to finish off with just a tiny bit of sesame seeds. So I have some black and white sesame seeds here. And what I do is I just sprinkle them on top to add a different dimension to it. A nice texture, this little nutty flavor. And that's it. That's 3 of our recipes done. So there you have the 3 ways of making broccoli, which normally happens in this kitchen very often. This is the simplest one with just a lovely brown butter and lemon sauce and some garlic and salt and pepper. That's pretty much all there is to it. This is a lovely Asian broccoli that I do if I'm doing like a Buddha bowl, which is Japanese inspired, Korean inspired, or Chinese inspired. It kind of goes with all 3 of them. And then we have the roasted Parmesan broccoli, which is perfect for like an occasion if you're going to have people over. And if you're looking to have a dish which does not need that much of attention, you can just put it into the oven and leave it there. So please go ahead, try all of the recipes, pair them with whatever kind of mains you want to, and tell me what you think. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe.